Alright boys, it's that time of the month again. It's time to look at the best $800 gaming PC that you can get right now. And as always boys, we're going to follow the same build criteria as with all our previous build guides, which means all parts must be brand new, no used parts, and all parts must be available at the time of recording. We're basing things off Amazon US, but for everyone else outside the region, please feel free to use this as a guide. And likewise, if you have any questions, just pop it down in the comment section. We do read all your comments and answer them if we get the YouTube notifications. Okay, let's do this. Let's kick things off with a processor. Now, we definitely would want something that has a good IPC advantage, and that means we want something modern. And what we've selected here is the Core i5-12600KF. The Core i5-12600KF comes with 10 cores, which is comprised of 6 performance cores and 4 efficient cores. Obviously, the performance cores will be the ones doing the heavy lifting in our games, whilst the efficient cores will be for those minor tasks or background things. Overall, this has 16 threads, and this processor will only cost us $214. Now, that's an amazing deal. The only thing is that this CPU does have a maximum turbo power of 150 watts. Which means we will need something decent to cool this processor. And for that, we'll pick a decent tower cooler which doesn't break the bank. And what we've selected here is the ID Cooling SE214XT. This is a basic tower cooler with 4 heat pipes and an RGB fan. And as mentioned in our previous videos, we like this cooler because it is extremely good value. Really good value, boys. This one right here would only cost us under $20. Going to our motherboard, what we have selected here is the Asus Prime H670 Plus D4 motherboard. This is a full ATX motherboard which comes with an H670 chipset. So if you're not familiar, this chipset is much more superior compared to the usual P660 chipset. This board comes with some heatsinks with the VRM and the NVMe. It has 3 NVMe slots which can run PCIe 4.0, 3 PCIe X16 slots as well, 2 of which are capable of running PCIe 4.0, and a lot of USB ports, and even has that USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C port at the back. Now, before we forget, it has all our RGB headers at the bottom and at the top, so there's a bit of flexibility there where you could run your wires. Pretty amazing board, and this is only priced at $121. So this is definitely a steal, boys, so don't delay, just bag this one. For our memory, obviously we will go for a DDR4 kit to fit our motherboard. Why DDR4? Because it's cheap, and performance difference between DDR5 wouldn't be so much, whereas DDR5 is a little bit expensive. So for our RAM kit, we have selected the Team Group T-Force Vulcan Z, 16GB, 3600 MHz. Good speeds definitely at 3600 MHz and has standard timing of CL18, 22, 22, 42. It doesn't have the RGB goodness, but hey, it's only $43, so that's definitely a good buy. For our storage, boys, likewise we'll keep this simple and cheap, or cheap and simple, whichever you like. Anyway, what we've selected here is the Silicon Power 512GB NVMe. This is a PCIe Gen 3, but this is okay. It'll be decent enough for our Windows and games. Read speeds is only at 2200 megabytes per second, while write speeds is up to 1600 megabytes per second. It comes with 5-year limited warranty, boys, a simple, and this is only at $29. And like I said, you don't need to think about this one, just add this to the cart. You can always add more drives later on if you feel that this will be inadequate for your needs. Before we carry on with our graphics card, if you guys watching this video is interested in building a PC in the next few months, we do these build guides on different price points every single month. So hit that subscribe button if you want to be up to speed with the best value PC specs. We do all the research for you, so you wouldn't need to spend a lot of time researching on what parts to get. Anyway, let's go back to okay, finally we're at the most expensive part of this build, and that is the graphics processor unit, or GPU. And what we've selected here is the MSI RX 6650 XT Mech 2X. As you know, the RX 6650 XT is a refresh of the RX 6600 XT, and the RX 6600 XT is inherently faster than the more popular RTX 3060. So what you're getting here is a much faster than 80 card. This one comes with 8GB of GDDR6 memory, it has 2 fans, clock speeds can go all the way up to 2669 MHz. It has a backplate, and the price, you say? $285. But wait, there's more. If you click this icon right here, you'll get a $15 coupon off, bringing the price down to $270. That's insane value, boys. Really insane value. Currently, there is nothing which can beat the price of this card right now. So if you're having second thoughts on this card, just bag this one right now before they remove the coupon. But what about DLSS or RTX, you say? Well, the raw performance of this card will beat even the RTX 3060 running DLSS on games like Warzone 2. Like, look at this one, boys. There is definitely no contest. The RX 6650 XT just screams the RTX 3060 on DLSS. I guess the only exception wherein you'd get an Nvidia card on this build would be if you are playing Fortnite. Why I say? Well, on our experience, AMD drivers seems to be lagging behind in terms of Fortnite optimizations, and as you know, Fortnite does tend to change every patch. Its performance does tend to change every patch and season or chapter. So in this regard, Nvidia drivers seem to be more up to date just for Fortnite. So if you're only playing Fortnite on performance mode, just get this card instead. But for everything else, you should be getting the RX 6650 XT. And to power our rig, we'll just keep this really simple. We'll get the power supply, which we always recommend on this budget level, and that's the Enermax Cyber Braun 500 watts. We really like the value proposition of this power supply. It comes with black flat cables, 80 plus bronze efficiency, and as mentioned before, Enermax is one of the companies which has been making power supplies forever. So the reliability is pretty decent as shown by the feedback here from Amazon, and hey, it's only at $37, so that's definitely good value. And finally, for our case, we are picking a RaidMax case here, and this is the RaidMax X921 mesh airflow, and from the name itself, this case comes with a mesh front with airflow, which is what we always wanted. And you know what else? This case comes with 6 free RGB fans. Yes, boys, 6 only fans. Although it's static RGB, meaning you can't control it, but having 6 fans is still pretty good, especially if it's for free with a case. Besides the standard tempered glass side panel, this case can also accommodate ATX boards and up to 320mm graphics card. And this is only priced at under $70, so definitely a good deal right here. Overall, we have a pretty solid build here, boys. A Core i5-12600KF, which is cooled by a tower cooler, an Asus H670 motherboard, 16GB of DDR4 3600MHz RAM, 512GB NVMe, the RX 6650 XT, an Enermax 500 watts power supply, and the RaidMax X921 with 6 free fans. And this build right here totals to only $822.92. Enter the $15 coupon code, and this will bring the price down to $807.92. Now that's definitely good value. Links to the products are in the description. And if you're looking at better alternatives to the RX 6650 XT, we recently reviewed a higher tier card compared to this one, which is the RX 6700 XT. We ran that card in Warzone 2, Fortnite, Apex Legends, and all the other competitive games that we play. So click this link right here, and we'll see you guys over there.